Hey, you know, do you remember last year I reviewed this? The Galaxian and Pac-Man micro players? I did review them a year ago. And, these things are really cool novelties. I like how they recreated the original arcade cabinet, but they use the NES ROMs, which makes sense since they're developed by Namco themselves. And they can be run on either batteries or an AC adapter. In fact, my arcade sold an adapter that lets you hook up multiple of these units together. And they also sold these fun pocket players, which, you know, they'll go into your pocket, although you can't see it. Hence the name Pocket Player. This is a Pac-Man one, which, unlike the other ones that they sold, this one uses Sega Genesis ROMs. And it all includes Pac-Man. Well, it turns out, this one is a homebrew port. Focus on camera. Yep. And the only way to play that version is to get this. But that's not the focus. Now, you remember I mentioned earlier that these mini players are big? I got one of them. And here it is. The Namco Museum Mini Player. Ha! Yeah, they use the Namco Museum brand because it's a collection of Namco games. It contains 20 titles. Two of them weren't released in the arcades. And I know Panic or Pack Attack was released on consoles, but it's also released in arcades in Japan. This one, unlike the other microplayers, they aren't sold. Instead, they are sold in these clever boxes. And they do not run on batteries. Instead, they run AC power only via USB connector. One later. 20 games that I have. I'll list the 20 games on the screen right now. Okay. This was released in 2019. Well, this is actually the second mini-play that they produced. The first one they produced was the Data East one, but I don't have that. So, I'm going to show you what all mini-players have. They have lots of games, they're very big, and they have 4 buttons, and they have arcade ROMs. Yeah, so, let's get this open, shall we? Okay. Now, let's get this thing open, shall we? Must need to adjust it a bit. Let's open this thing up. It's simple. Why don't you just use scissors, James? Well, I need to keep the box for reference. Now, you might notice that 2 of the games shown earlier were not arcade games. They're actually Sega Genesis games. And I know Pac-Man 2 is also used on Super Nintendo, but I think it's Sega Genesis ROM. But I think the easy way to tell is to get all 3 carts. As I do know, the SNES version contains Miss Pac-Man, which was also released separately. Which was also released separately on Super Nintendo, which is pretty odd. And the Genesis version, or Mega Drive, depending on where you live, contains Pac Jr., which is actually a ROM hack of Miss Pac-Man. And not the Junior Pac-Man that was made by Midway. Now owned by Warner Brothers. And it's pretty odd, it doesn't include Miss Pac-Man. Huh. There we go. Let's get this thing open. Wow. In order to prevent damage, they had to put it in a carton, which I thought, looks very cool. Now they put it in a white box, which I guess to prevent damage, as those things are very expensive, especially during shipping. We have the instruction manual, a USB power cable, and the moment you've been waiting for. Dun 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 da da da. Dun 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 da da da. The mini player itself. Now, I know you might notice, hey, those are scratches! You damaged it! This is actually a screen protector. Just to protect the screen during shipping. But you can remove it, if I can. Anyway, what do we have here? Well, this is definitely massive. Let's compare it to this Pac-Man microplayer. See, it's definitely double in sizes. Front, side, and the back. Now they look a bit different, except it doesn't have a battery cover, because you need to use it with this AC adapter. Thankfully, any USB adapter would work, but I recommend using the one included because they're surprisingly better. Alright, let's plug this in and give it a go. Okay, prepare to be amazed. Okay, when you start this, there we have Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Galaga, Galaxian, Dick Dug 2, Giant Spirit, Pixels, never heard of that, Tower Jiraga, Rolling Thunder, Xevious, Rolling Thunder 2, Battle City, Sky Kids, Splatterhouse, Zoo, Rolling Thunder 3, Pac-Man, and Pac-Man 2 New Adventures. Now, we have a coin button, a reset button, and a start button. Oh, and every time you select a game that's the original or full screen. You know what? Let's try the original. Yeah. It uses it, I think they use just this. I've never played Pac-Man 2, to be honest. This is all Looney Tunes. See? These ones are on your Super Famicom or Super Nintendo's US layout, except the B and A and XY are reversed, and then they're black and white respectively. I said yin yang. I know you can't see it due to speeches. Now this New Adventures. If you press it, you can actually quit the game. But let's test out the obvious. Pac-Man. You can say original or full screen. But let's try full screen. As many of these games are designed for them. The reset button's like a man. Now each. Yep, they definitely use the arcade ROMs. Alright, then the NES ROMs. Now the R is a bit off. Because this is emulator, what do you expect? Now, now they have this game. I'm never been a big fan of Splatterhouse. Now this game is now Splatterhouse actually has been a recent new addition to the Namco News lineup, as a Switch game, which is rated 18 by the way, contains it. Now let's try one of my favorites, Happy. Okay, Mappy controls. You press A to open doors. Start. Oh, and one more thing. The joystick can be removed. Yeah, although what's the point of even trying if you want to remove it? One big annoyance that you can pause by pressing the reset button. And let's try one more game. Pixelius, which kind of reminds you of Xevious. You press A. Let's start the loading. Which I believe is the first time we ever saw this. I like that sound. Look at that. This game is kind of a bit unplayable. Well, okay. So, final verdict. This thing is pretty awesome. And for good way for retro gamers. What's a competition for arcade ones? Well, there's the arcade ones countercades, which are, let's say, well, they include arcade-like ones, but are very huge, and there we go. But they are very huge and won't take up any space. Plus, they cost $120, $200, whereas this one costs $100. Now keep in mind, it's not portable. Or can it? After all, it is using USB power. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I wonder if this AC adapter will work in this microplayer that I have. I had to take all the batteries out. I'm gonna leave the cover out so I can put them in. And the answer is yes. This does work, although redundant nowadays, as my arcade does sell the little adapter thingy. And this is a great player, especially this mini player is very big. I wish Mario can make. Oh, and they released Mario Arcade released another microplayer. Everyone check it out. It's the Space Invaders one, which, unlike the other ones, which try to recreate the official US, that one's actually based off the Japanese version. Yeah, which is funny enough, as they include a real joystick and a 100 yen button, which is unlike the version distributed by Midway, which uses discrete buttons, much like Pac-Land. This will definitely see how light this one is without the back. This one would make certainly a cool thing. 20 games, which I guess each game is $5 each, so that makes up $100. So what's the point of even collecting? Well, I say this one is good. Although you can make one yourself. In fact, I saw a video try to mod this one to add more games. That's probably fine. Well, anyways, that's it. I'm going to oh, by the way, there's a My Friends episode coming up soon. So please subscribe for that. Well, see ya.